Good morning, everyone. Good evening, and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is nikymus, and you are welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empaths free. If you are new, on this channel I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse, I talk about spirituality, and I talk about personal and self-development. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us. Give us a like, share this video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. The chosen one, you are the unwanted mirror. Now let me explain. This video has been inspired by an event that happened a couple of months ago. So in those days I remember waking up, and there was this particular individual that I used to confide in, you know what I mean, very, very close to me. And again, you guys already know in my videos, I never mention people's names. I always keep people's names, out of the videos, but I just want to give you guys the message so that you can understand what we're talking about here. So that particular individual was very, I would confide in that particular individual, very important to me actually, you know. So we used to talk a lot about everything. I would tell about my experience with narcissism and everything. So we used to talk a lot about the narcissistic abuse and what I went through and so on and so forth. And then all of a sudden, this particular individual got very interested in the narcissism. So they're like, "Oh, tell me more about narcissism, everything." So we used to share, because you see, I've told you guys in the early days, I was very excited about all these things of narcissism and everything. I was so excited because I discovered something that I would never knew, that I would never find out at some point. So we used to share a lot of information together. And then later on, a couple of months later, I remember one time that particular individual again, they were complaining, "Oh, you know, this and this, they were having a problem with family, they were having a problem with this, they were having a problem with that." And then me knowing that particular person, I was like, actually, don't you really think that all these things that are happening within your family, they have everything to do with you? So in those days, I was asking that particular individual that, don't you really want to go back and revisit a lot of events that have been happening within that family unit and see what exactly has been going on? Don't you really think that most of those things that are happening within the family, they have everything to do with you? Oh, guys, that is the exact moment that particular individual, they went into rage. I've never seen my entire life. I've known that person for a very long time. I've never seen them rage at that degree. So it was very intensive. And in fact, to be precise, in those days actually I was doing videos. I even remember going off videos for a while because I was very, very disturbed by the rage. That rage disturbed me. I thought that I had awakened, guys. But that particular person, when they raged out and they raged at me for me calling them to take responsibility of their own behaviors towards their own other individuals, those guys raged in a way I've never seen before, and that's exactly when the mask slipped. So the mask slipped after so many years, and I'm trying to tell you guys in this video that sometimes you can be with people, and a lot of those individuals, they're just watching you secretly. They're watching you secretly. They're monitoring you. And most of you guys have no idea what exactly those guys are all about. Me personally, it took me years for me to uncover that particular individual that I had been dealing with for a very long period of time, that particular individual, they were narcissists. So it took me by surprise. So eventually, of course, I decided to cut them off, because when the mask slipped, of course, you empaths, you know, when the mask slipped, it has slipped, you already know. You know what a mask slip looks like, you know. A mask can slip in so many different kinds of ways. But me, that particular time, and in addition to my experience with narcissism, that's when I knew that the mask slipped. So eventually what I did, I just cut them off, eventually blocked them. You guys already know I went no contact, and I cut them out of my life straight away. So then I noticed one thing later on, in a couple of months later. I noticed something very important, that particular individual, our misunderstanding started with me asking that particular individual to take a look at themselves. Maybe I was forcing them, I was pushing them to look themselves in the mirror and to see if there was something that they had to change within themselves that was making a lot of their families, causing a lot of disruptions within the family unit. You know what I mean? So I was eventually forcing those individuals to look at themselves in the mirror, and they were not ready to do that, you know. So a lot of you chosen ones, you're going to find a situation, you might already have experienced these kind of things. You're going to find situations whereby you are engaged with so many kinds of people. You are engaged with so many different types of people. And eventually, whenever those people come to you, you know, they sit with you. Some of this, because you see, a lot of times, you guys have had you've had us talking about them energy vampires. You know, those kind of guys. You know, those toxic individuals, energy vampires. Those individuals, most of the times when they come to you, it's like they don't know what to expect. You know what I mean? Somewhere on the deep level, they know that particular person. They know what they're talking about, and they somehow know what you're all about. You know what I mean? Because when you're waking up, remember, you're shining more brighter than you used to do before. So sometimes they cannot really figure out what is going on with this person. They don't know what is going on, what is happening with him. They just see a lot of things going on within your life, but they cannot really put a finger of what it is that is happening to you. So what usually happens is that now they start to get drawn close to you, to try to come closer to you, so that they can now find out on a deep level what exactly are you all about. But you see, chosen ones, I can guarantee you something. Those individuals, they are coming with one step forward and one step backwards. They know, because they know that should things turn out toxic, should things turn out dangerous, which in most of the cases they have got one step backwards, and they can get out of that and run away very quickly. You guys have seen me sharing the video about those guys who they come into your life in a day or two, and then eventually all of a sudden they just ghost you and they disappear. They come to you because they know somewhere on a very subconscious level they know what you're all about. So they come with one step in and one step out, you know. So they want to know that, oh, things are going to get rough and very dangerous. That's when they are going to step back and run away very, very quickly, very far away from you, you know. So most of the times the people who are coming to you, chosen ones, those individuals, you're forcing them to double check themselves twice in the mirror, even thrice. A lot of times, chosen ones, you act as mirrors. Most of the times, a lot of people on this universe, let me tell you something. There is people on this planet, they have got a lot of stuff they're dealing with. A lot of stuff. And if we're talking about stuff, if we're talking about people who are toxic, those toxic individuals, the energy vampires, those individuals, they're hiding a lot of demons. Guys, you have no idea. I've given you a story of a guy that I knew so many years. The mask slipped after. We're talking about almost 30 years later, the mask slipped. So you can imagine a lot of guys you're involved with, you being awakened and understanding who you really are, and understanding the dimensions of the reality around you. Because remember, when you're awakening, you're going through all these shifts, and you're now starting to look behind the veil and see all these kind of hidden things that were actually previously hidden from you. So what happens is that a lot of people who come to you, most of those individuals, you're going to expose them. A lot of guys who are going to come to you, you will sometimes mention some things. You may find yourself sometimes saying something that they don't expect to hear. They have never expected to hear any of those things that you're going to say from anyone, no matter who they were. But when they come into your presence, a chosen one, what is going to happen is that they are going to come around, and you're going to start to bring out their hidden demons without having trying. And guys, this the most disturbing part is that I don't know, disturbing or the most interesting part is that normally when you're doing these kind of things, when you're exposing people, when you're unmasking people, you're not even trying. So chosen ones, they happen to be authentic people, you know. Number one, they are empaths. So normally when they come into your life or they meet you or something like that, they do not have any intentions whatsoever, bad intentions or things like that. So when they come to you with good intentions. And that's why you see most of the times when they meet a lot of people around them, the first thing what they do is that they are going to talk about the truth. So those particular individuals, chosen ones, they are guys who are incorruptible. You cannot corrupt a chosen one. It doesn't matter what you offer them, they will stay with the truth. They will stand with the truth. It does not matter who you are. It does not matter how you look. It does not matter what you have. What is your position? They are going to stand with the truth. Because those individuals, number one, they are awakened, number one, and secondly, they're not all about lies and deception. So what happens is that when they come into your presence, if you're a person who is not sure about yourself and you are a toxic individual or something like that, when you come into their presence, what happens is that they now start to bring out a lot of stuff that you're trying to hide within. So because you see a lot of guys on the planet, they're walking around like robots, you know. So a lot of guys, you see them around you, especially the guys who are still turned off, they're not awakened. They're just like moving robots. You know what I mean? And it's like a robot. A robot is something that is moving with the program. You know what I mean? You guys have been seeing my videos earlier on. I've been talking about the bots. You know, so people move around like robots. They're in some kind of a cycle. You know what I mean? They know what they're going to do from the morning to the evening. They know what they are going to say. They know what they need to hide beneath the surface, and they know what they need to show out to the public. Because you see, a lot of guys, they also have this ego problem, whereby a lot of them are operating within their ego. You see what I mean? But as a chosen one, you're a person who has already shut down the ego, so there is nothing in there that you're hiding, like you don't want the world to see, things like that. It's one of the reasons why you see a lot of chosen ones, when they're coming out, they're ego free. They just come around, they just talk what they want to say. They explain everything to the truth. The truth, that is one of the biggest core foundation of a chosen one, is the truth. When I was starting this channel, the first things I said that this is the channel of the truth, because I was not going to come around here, because people are watching me from all over the world, family is watching me, my friends and whatever it is. Then I was going to start sugarcoating the truth, because I would have wanted them to, think about me in a certain way. We don't know Denzo like that. We knew the older Denzo. So I knew that people are not going to accept me, definitely. I knew that people are not going to accept me in my truth, in my authenticity. So I mentioned it from the beginning, this is the channel of the truth. So I was not going to come around and sugarcoat things. So sometimes because of your truth, most of the things you're doing and you're saying, you're just doing things organically. You know what I mean? So the people come to you. They will come to you hiding, because for them, the difference between you and the people you meet is that most certainly you're awakened, definitely, because the chosen one is the person who was awakened eventually. So you're awakened, and they're not. You know what I mean? So a person who is awakened as well is the person who has overridden their ego. So they're not acting within their ego. And on the other hand, you have got people who are very deep within their ego. You know what I mean? So those kind of confrontations, a lot of times when you meet those kind of people, that's where the fights begin. You're going to see a lot of pull and push. You know what I mean? You're going to say A, they're going to say B. You'll say C, they will say D. So you're going to see a lot of the conversations going in the parallel directions. And you're not meeting somewhere in the middle, because you're dealing with people who are actually very deep within their ego. You know what I mean? I remember during the lockdown, in those days, there was a lockdown in back home, So I remember telling somebody that, so there was a lockdown, and then the lockdown was over, so people came back outside. So I remember warning somebody, because in those days I had a vision. You know what I mean? And again, I'm a guy of vision. So normally I will dream about a lot of stuff. Sometimes I have premonitions about the future, some about the past. So I remember telling one of those videos that, hey, you know what? I had this dream that the country is going to lock down again. You know what I mean? The country is going to lock down again, and you guys need to be very careful. Try to save up a lot of money. Prepare everything. Prepare for the worst. So I was trying to prepare that particular individual, just to make sure that they prepare for the worst. You know what I mean? So just in case anything happens. And the only thing that particular individual told me, that who doesn't know that COVID is going on. So anyhow, even if they close up, or even if the country closes down or something like that, we shall be expecting it already. So all it is that my information, so the vision that I was trying to pass on to those individuals, because I'd already seen this coming, it wasn't taken seriously, because now I was dealing with somebody who was very deep within the ego. That ego would not let them know, would not let them digest whatever it is that I was trying to tell them. So they were like, we already know this COVID, and anyhow, the lockdown, anyway, we have already had one, so there may be another one coming. So they just ignored whatever it is I was saying. And guys, behold, in about 3 weeks' time, I think it took about 3 or 4 weeks, the country shut down, exactly how I saw it in the vision. So you see, the chosen ones, they are messengers. Most of the times, God will send a lot of individuals towards your way, for you to deliver to them a very specific message. You see, in this universe, there are no coincidences. A lot of individuals, you see them coming in your life every now and then, flocking in and out. A lot of individuals, they are coming in your life because you are supposed to pass on a message from the divine. Your divine messengers, they call them divine. Chosen ones are divine messengers. So a lot of stuff you say is a message from the universe. You know what I mean? And you're supposed to pass on to the individuals around you. But usually, a lot of individuals, I will guarantee you, because you are authentic and true to the you are true and authentic. The guys who come around you and meet you on a daily basis, those guys, they will not swallow that truth. They are not ready for that even. Guys, let me tell you something. Those guys are not ready for that. You see a lot of them, they will start to fight with you. They will fight with you. Oh, he thinks they know everything. They think they are this. They think they are that. They think that. Now a lot of them will stop. Eventually, when the words are, when there's no more words to say, the only thing they will start to say is that you're a witch. That person is a witch. How did they know this? How did they know that? But the only person they are calling a witch is that they don't know that those individuals, they are particular messengers of God. You know what I mean? So those are messengers who are coming around to pass to deliver specific message to those videos. You know what I mean? So chosen ones, you're like mirrors, and a lot of times your presence is unwanted by a lot of individuals who you encounter on a daily basis. So a lot of guys who come into your presence, you meet guys along the journey. They like you, you know, sometimes they're your family, maybe friends. They like you, they want to be around you, but at the same time, it's like whenever they sit around you, close to you, and you guys start talking, it's like they're sitting on a hot seat. Because it's like, remember that everything you're talking about, everything, guys, in the beginning, I called my Facebook channel, I had a Facebook page. I used to do Facebook Lives those days. So I used to call my Facebook page unscripted. And then one time somebody asked me, why do you call yourself unscripted? Then I told those people that I don't come with a script. I told them I call myself unscripted. Because I don't come with a script, I will come and I will tell everything that the way it's supposed to be. You may like it, you may not like it. But at the end of the day, I know that I'm just passing on a message. And at the end of the day, I know that one or two or three things I may say, they may end up actually sometimes benefiting a lot of individuals that I encounter on a daily basis. So that's why I used to call myself unscripted before I changed the channel to become Breaking Empaths Free. You know what I mean? So most of the times, chosen ones, you're going to make a lot of people feel extremely uncomfortable. You know what I mean? When you're talking about stuff, sometimes even I've seen it on my channel, sometimes when we're talking about things on our channels, we are exposing a lot of this toxicity going on in this universe. Remember, guys, we are light workers. So we expose a lot of dirty deeds, toxicity, a lot of these evil plans those evil plans going on in the society and communities. So we talk about a lot of things that very few people are ready and even are willing to talk about. So we come around and talk about most of those things, and we shed a lot of light to a lot of things happening in society, in communities, in different parts of the world. See? And because there's so many people around the world, there's so much to hide, you know. They've got a lot to hide. They've got a lot to... they don't want to hear the truth. You know, chosen ones, you're empaths. A lot of you guys are even evolved, super empaths. So you're pushing a lot of guys to look at themselves in the mirror. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, even in the first place, there is so many individuals around you, they never believed in you. They have never believed in you for 1 minute. They never thought that at one day they'll be sitting in front of you and you'll be lecturing them, you'll be teaching them, you'll be showing them a lot of things about their own lives. They never thought about that. So accepting you is also a problem, whereby they are thinking that they shouldn't get any information from you because, you know, they know you from high school, you know, sometimes they know you from, So sometimes people don't understand that people evolve, you know what I mean? And we're talking about the chosen ones. Those are the guys, the chosen ones. They evolve at a rate that you cannot expect. You cannot see those guys coming. You will never see them coming, guys. The chosen one, when they awaken, when a chosen one awakens and they stand in their authenticity and they start shining, whatever it is they want to do, whatever it is they came here to do, people, they can't stand that. You know what I mean? It's very, very painful for a lot of people. A lot of people who are in your circle, it's very painful for them. They can't handle that. They can't watch that. So that's why you see, you cannot sit down with them, and you guys are starting to talk about a lot of things. They are feeling very, very hard for them to talk. Like that. Like I've given in the beginning of the video, I've given you guys an example. That particular individual knew me for so many years ago, And then now I was on the other side of evolution, telling those particular individuals about narcissism, telling them about this, telling them about that, and now I was forcing them to look themselves in the mirror, so that they should stop asking and blaming other people for their own, the things going on in their own lives. They should now start to look at themselves in the mirror and start to understand that they themselves are the problem. They are not ready for that. They were not ready for that reflection. A lot of you chosen ones, let me tell you something. You will stand with people, you look at people in front of the face. You're going to tell them the truth. Anything you're talking about is the truth. And most of the guys, it is like you're saying those things that they are hiding. They don't know, they cannot, they cannot. You guys have been seeing my videos from the beginning, You've been seeing my videos from the beginning. I'll never come around here and I'll be sugarcoating things because, somebody's watching, I should be careful. I usually came out here. I talked about my experience the way it is. So I did not sugarcoat anything. I did not leave out anything. And a lot of times along my journey as well, I've seen it along my journey. I've lost so many friends as well. Family, friends, and things like that. The people used to know me before because when I started becoming authentic, Very many people around the world couldn't handle that. So many people couldn't handle. Guys, let me tell you something. A lot of people could not handle that. The newer version of me. You know what I mean? So that's why I lost a lot of friends, and I don't regret coming out and starting to, you know, do what I do, because at the end of the day, I've always made my soul family, and I stay. My family keeps on coming in, and I keep on growing, of course, on a daily basis. So the people I'm leaving behind, I don't feel that you know, I don't see it as a loss. You know what I mean? I see it as a gain, because at the end of the day, some people are supposed to leave for others to come in. You know what I mean? So chosen ones is one thing that you have got to understand in this video, that you'll usually be the unwanted mirrors. You will not be expected. When you come around and start talking, people will run away. When they give you the microphone to talk, and you're in a group of people, you know, that especially the guys who have known you for a very long period of time, and you're in a group of people, you guys are talking about so many different kind of things. Those guys, the very moment you take the podium to the stage and you take the microphone, they will start running out of the room. They run out of the room because they can't handle the truth. A lot of people, let me tell you, chosen ones, let me tell you something. The world that we live in at this time is a very corrupt world, and a lot of people, they're dealing with so many kinds of things you have no idea. You have no idea. You may sometimes have a person who is listening to you, and they're in bed with somebody else's wife. You know what I mean? And you're talking about infidelity, you're talking about cheating. How are they going to listen to you? Guys, you can think about this. You're talking about the truth, yeah? And probably you're a relationship expert, and somebody's on YouTube watching you in bed with somebody's wife. How is he going to continue watching you and listening to you? They'll just switch off the TV, because eventually you are hitting them in the face with the truth, again, with the truth. So that's why it's becoming very difficult to usually, you know, to connect with the people that you used to know. It would usually be the people that will be, you know, strangers. Sometimes people will come in, they want to hear something, they need guidance and things like that. And you're always going to stand with the truth. You will tell them the truth. Then, of course, they will have time to go back home and reflect. Or have they learned something from you? What have they taken from you? What can they take? You know, because it's not everything you take, you give out that they're going to take. So they will filter eventually. Everybody has got their own filters. So they will filter one or two things. Okay, I'm going to take this, I'm going to leave that. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, there's one or two things that they're going to take with them that is going to help them along their journey. So chosen ones, you have got to understand that you are unwanted mirrors. It will happen, but at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do about it, because you walk, number one, and secondly, you're the chosen anointed person of God. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below, guys. Much love and blessings. Can't wait to get back to you in the next video. Peace out, and Nesmo signing out. I'll catch you soon.